Good morning. I want to talk about Trump and Putin, but firstly, it kind of fits into this reading I did on the meeting on Coalition on the Willing that is going to have a meeting on Friday in London, I think. And those two kind of went together. So I'm starting with how the meeting on Friday with the EU leaders are going to go, according to me, obviously. And then I'm moving over to Trump and Putin because it kind of fitted quite well, to say the least. This meeting is going to be tense, unfocused, and emotionally charged. They're going to be disorganized and have mixed motives. I just think that it feels like this is something has changed, obviously, and the public opinion, the energy around it all, maybe the EU leaders are starting to kind of understand what the people are saying. I was watching some of the, what is it, Lithuania or was it Estonia, that had a really strong opinion about Russia or something. And the comment section, people just, it was a mistake to invite the Baltic countries in. They just trouble, or they just want to fight. They just want to, and I haven't heard that before. So while I think the Baltic countries might see themselves as the leader of some sort, they don't come across that way. Now they are seen as the ones that are making trouble instead of actually embracing peace or trying to change their rhetoric or trying to meet halfway or at least understand or something. I think they should be careful, to be honest, with what they're saying, because the Europeans are starting to, it's a fatigue going on now. The leaders are not unified, and there is confusion, secrecy, and distrust amongst each other. I don't really know what this distrust is, or why they are secretly, like, why has everything been so divided. I know I've spoken about it, like, EU is going to be divided. It's like a divide and conquer thing happening. But at this level, like at this table, at this event, that the cards would come up, so I don't trust you or whatever. Like, where did that come from? It's like from nowhere. And even if they meet, they can't agree on a direction. What is it that they are? I think they're meeting because of like security guarantees again. I thought that was already figured out. Like, we don't need to have that discussion like one more time. But what I am kind of afraid of is to hear that phrase again. We need security guarantees, because I think it has been so overplayed by now. Because the last time they met up and spoke about security guarantees, for where I was coming from, it kind of looked like no one wanted to give it, and especially if Ukraine is in the mindset that we're going to build up a military, we are going to fight, and we're going to, like, they are still in fighting mode, because that means that you might be dragged into something eventually. And I said that with the reading I did about investing in Ukraine and how investors might feel moving forward. Like, if Ukraine still talks about funding, military funding, like, we are strong, that is what we do, that is so on and so forth, everybody's going to back down because you are the problem then. And it feels like the EU leaders might think the same. Yeah, no, we are going to probably probably have to be dragged into this eventually if we give our security guarantees. And they are thinking of their own domestic priorities or image more than common goal. So I guess that is something like it. They want direction, but they don't have it. They don't know what to do, which is pretty much what we have seen. Last time in Alaska, everybody is kind of pointing fingers at Trump and Putin for trusting each other, or it didn't work the last time, and all of that. And when we let it go, when Trump doesn't have a direction, when Putin doesn't do anything, nothing happens. Like the EU leaders doesn't take over or do anything. They react to things that happens around them. They never are forward thinking or on the ball, or they are, like I said yesterday, they are on the defense. They aren't there. Some of the countries might feel they already has given enough and are only showing up out of duty and not conviction. So some of them are coming to this meeting and they're not giving anything. They are already decided that they are not giving anything. It's nothing anybody can say or do. They don't have the money. They don't have the weapons. They have already probably asked everybody again for the 110th time, do we have anything? And the answer is probably still no. So they are not there so you can convince them to give more money or weapons or continue this. They have already made up their mind. They're just there to show solidarity, I guess, or no, I'm here. They're ready to face reality. I think they have to. I think they need to be real in this meeting. We don't have any. We don't have any guns. We don't have any money. It's empty. It is what it is. And they kind of have to accept it and move past it. The machinery of cooperation is breaking down. Promises aren't being kept. So anybody who is promising something might even keep it, or hasn't kept it, or they're probably the ones that feel kind of awkward to be pressured or awkward of saying no. They might say that, yeah, no, we can do that, but then they don't keep that promise when they have left. So there is a lot of nothing happens. It's no one has faith in this meeting. Everybody needs to start speak reality here, and everybody who feels push, there is a few people that they can't say no, they want to be nice and they want to, so they say stuff, but when they get out of the room, nothing happens. They're not going to do it. It's restlessness, anxiousness, and unfinished business. Without clear progress, more talk than results. But they leave knowing that they can't avoid reckoning at the Putin and Trump talk. So these leaders know that Trump and Putin is going to have a talk, and I think they are kind of counting on that it's going to happen. And from what I can see, the real direction will come later, likely defined by Trump and Putin. Trump and Putin is going to work something out, and then they're just going to have to accept it. This meeting is like a tired family reunion before the storm, in a way, before they have to kind of take the hit. It feels like this might be the last time they actually meet, because this doesn't look good at all. Maybe they already know this is probably the last time we meet. this is not going anywhere. We are not going to discuss security guarantees one more time. We have already said no. We don't want to be dragged into this. Our population, the Europeans, doesn't want this any longer. So let's see what Trump and Putin can come up with, and then just deal with the repercussions like after, because they react better than they lead in a way. So maybe that is the best thing, to actually not be in the room with Putin and Trump, not be the one, because they react better than they lead. Zelensky is going to try to make deals and spin hope out of setbacks, reframe losses into opportunities. He knows how to sell his message and will try to appeal directly to individual leader for support. So he is on it. He is fiery, and I understood. I've seen that this week with media and the spinning of the narrative, and how he tries to kind of get back some kind of a leader position, and no one is basically listening. It's I don't think he's good at reading the room either, to be honest. Or he is, and he just thinks that he can kind of change it or something. Macron feels responsible but unlucky. Europe's unity is slipping from his control. He will try to look composed and rational, but he knows the coalition's moral is cracking. So Emmanuel he knows that he is unlucky right now. He is not going to turn this around. He's not going to inflict any, let's win this, or let's do this together, or let's do something. He's not going to have the energy for it, so to speak. And the EU leaders, many feel this era of unity is ending. There is exhaustion and realism. This might be the last phase of broad, unified European support before each nation begins pursuing its own agenda. Yeah, I think we are moving more towards, like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to look at what you have. I think Europe has been very accommodating. They have given a lot. They haven't said anything. They have run with the narrative that some of the EU leaders are kind of pushing for. And what I understand, like, UK is still pushing for a narrative, at least, of escalation, and it falls flat. Like, no one is getting any kind of emotions towards it. So they're just using up their energy. Like, you can go and do something else that would be more productive, or play out in like a good way for you. This is not going to happen. So, and EU is divided and uncertain, and Zelensky's charm is not enough to pull everyone back into alignment. So that is the meeting on Friday. And I was kind of surprised, but not really. I know the energy is shifting towards, you have to take care of yourself. I know what the universe is trying their very best to kind of yell at everybody, but I didn't think that they would either feel it or eventually kind of caught up in it. And it is a really good, if you want to really sit down and talk now, and not these people, but for actual peace, is a really good time to do so now, and take it slowly and step by step, I guess, and not be so flamboyant or over dramatic or in any way. I just feel like the problem here is that Ukraine's mind is that they are going to rearmor, and then they are going to I don't know, do what most do when they want to start a war. It's like dress up as Russian people and then attack their own people, and then the war is on again. And stuff like that, because that is usually what you do when you want to start a war with someone. And then another country is going to be dragged into that war, even if it was, because Ukraine has that. When Zelensky said Putin hates me, so I have similar, like, he means that I hate him. Like, he always has to kind of push that feeling. He never takes accountability. So he has to push that feeling over to Putin. I don't think Putin cares at least about Zelensky. I think Putin wants, what he cares about is to kind of finish this off. Like, I don't think he wants to continue this. It's not in my cards, at least. Not the energy that I feel about this. So that he actually has that strong of a feeling towards Zelensky, I highly doubt it. However, do I think that Zelensky feels a lot about Putin? Yes, I do, because he uses very strong language against him, like he is Hitler, he is so on and so forth. And that shows that, he's probably hating him, and probably hating him because he's losing. He isn't the hero that he depicted himself as. And he also got played by UK. UK has been very, they have worked for this to continue. Why? I really don't know. Maybe because it's their own country is such a big mess that, we need something to kind of blame on. Like, look at this instead. This is worse than what we have going on here. And they still try to keep that rolling, and it doesn't work. They're going to be defeated, actually, quite soon. So I don't know. The meeting on Friday is, I just see that everybody like sits around a table and being quiet more so than actually talking or come up with ideas. There is no new energy. There's no. I think Zelensky is talking, and I think Macron is trying his best to meet that energy, or tries diplomacy, or tries to mediate, or tries to. Someone is probably going to say, like, reality, like, no, we are not going to give you security guarantees, because you are probably going to start a new fight, and then we are going to be dragged into it, and then Emmanuel Macron needs to kind of soothe that tension down, because they are not wrong to say that. The Ukrainians have that, because everybody is kind of feeding them with it. The Baltic countries are feeding, we need to rearm them, we need to give them the biggest army ever, they need to be a lot of, and they are like building up this, and when they do so, everybody is kind of pulling back from Ukraine, because no one wants to invest in them, no one wants to give them security guarantees, no one wants to, because of it. It's not like Zelensky is coming into this meeting and say, no, we're giving up this land. It is what it is. We are going to agree on peace, and then we are going to kind of rebuild and start over, and so on and so forth. And that would probably have given him more. This is the same thing as I said about, oh my God, what's her name? Kaya Kallas. She would have gotten more respect, more, if she had given the carrot and not the stick in this week's whatever she is saying. Like, there is a shift. Like, you should have changed by now. And it's the same with Zelensky, it's the same with Ukraine. Like, you should have changed your rhetoric, you should have changed your mindset by now. Now it plays out the way that everybody's going to try to avoid you, like the best way they can. Not signing anything, that they agree on anything, because I think that, I'm not saying that Ukraine is going to, but let's say they have blown up stuff, they have been trying to with NATO, trying to come up with all sorts of schemes, and everybody knows this. And that I think is this distrust coming from that, if you have done all of this, then nothing says like you can't do it. Let's say there is a peace talk and there is actually happening this time, and Putin is like doing everything that he is saying that he is going to do, and it is like we are starting to build up, and then you are planning to start everything over again, and then like dress up as Russian people and then attack Ukraine, and then we are going to have to be dragged into it. And I think that is the distrust that the European leaders, because they have seen him, as we have seen him, like they aren't stupid. They might have been quiet, they might have been more reserved in what they're saying, but I think everybody is aware of how the story has gone, and there is a realism in it. Like Zelensky and Ukraine is not; they're just continuing this. There is no shift in mindset at all. So I think that is their problem, and something they're not going to move past this meeting. So I think Trump and Putin is the ones that are going to have to make the deal and be fair and just, and like really discuss this and do it thoroughly, and have something that they can present. And the EU leaders may or may not react to it coming 2 weeks or so. Who knows? Probably react to it. Zelensky, like you have to also have a plan for if they would try to sabotage it this time. Like, is this deal, if it doesn't happen, then the US is going to take the funding away. Like, so it becomes like a clean, like, acceptance, because EU doesn't have the money or the weapons to kind of continue this. That is, or it has the money but not the weapons. It is only money, I don't know. But let's say that they don't have it. But I just think that you need to have a plan. This is our proposal for peace talks, or for peace in general. And if this doesn't happen, we are going to do this or something, to kind of give it more of a, there is a price to actually say no to this.